What's happening, traders, and welcome back to Shifty FX. What we're doing today is your weekly outlook volume 2. So starting on DXY, what we've seen is a strong bullish close yet again. So we essentially have our protected low and our draw on liquidity using our 2-candle theory. Understanding that market has closed above, essentially given that 90 to 95% of the time when the market does close above, depending on where its drawn liquidity has come from, and 2, we are looking to target that previous high. So the same thing that I discussed in the daily bias video, which I'll link below, we take into account with the weekly using a 2-candle theory. Essentially, what we had mapped out last week is we saw this weekly fair value gap. We assessed the market and we tried to determine that market could potentially draw back to this level, bouncing off of this, tapping into this order block, and then moving to the upside. That missed by a fraction, but it still didn't limit us in capitalizing on a few trades for the week. Is it a concern that we're sitting over there? Yeah, a little bit. We've got quite a significant amount of liquidity, and we do have red folder news coming up this week. So depending on how the market opens this week, we could essentially see an early draw, tap in that, and then push to the downside in the next coming weeks, or be it this immediate week giving a good reaction out of there. We're just trying to put probabilities in our favor. So like I said prior, using a 2-weekly candle theory, our immediate draw is to the upside. If we drop down to the daily, you'll see here, if we refine this a little bit, you have clear swing liquidity there, sell side liquidity up for the taking. We essentially said we wanted to see how market would open on Monday. Okay, we had Friday's close as an inside bar, and then Monday would dictate what we were doing for the week. We pulled up, we pushed aggressively, and at that point you would assume that market was going to tap into this level. We gave a strong rejection out, putting a bit of doubt in our minds. So we saw an inversion candle, then we created a BPR, and then we saw strong momentum out again. And like I discussed in my Gbpusd recap video, how you could have capitalized on the trade on Gbpusd given that pound managed to sweep this low, creating an SMT with DXY and then pushing to the upside. If I show you that here, I can go new pane over there, zoom that up, and you'd see right here that if I just remove this quickly, SMT over there, and on the same thing with GBP USD, we had SMT there. So that gave us a good indication that we could continue with shorts targeting that swing low. EU and DXY close with an inside bar. We leave that candle alone for the day. That's it. We then had an aggressive push to the upside, creating a 3-way inversion again. So that just leads to a massive void in the market here that needs to be rebalanced essentially. If I remove this off the charts now, could have a look. Market hasn't convincingly broken above. We could still see a candle open, respect this wick, and drop to the downside. So we're stuck in a situation again where I would rather let market play out on Monday, given that we had NFP on Friday, just to let market show its hand. Because if we open up come Monday, and say for instance, go back to the daily. If we see market open up, we could see a little bit of a drawdown, flick to the upside. And what I would like to see is a potential close to the downside here, showing its hand that we could ride into this low, targeting this imbalance, and then maybe targeting the weekly drawn liquidity, or we could see an immediate break to the upside. Again, this This is just going to depend on how Monday opens. If I have a look here, we have a nice trend line liquidity up for grabs. We had our BPR on the daily, but we have this overlapping fair value gap, obviously. Just there, I can move that across. If that's more of a refined area. So get back to the 4 hour, we have that daily fair value gap. Market could draw into this level, sweep this liquidity, and then target the weekly high. It's going to be interesting to see how market respects this 4 hour created by the NFP news. Okay. Like I said, there's your SMT, there's your weekly fair value gap. But my immediate draw would have to be to the upside. Does that mean it's absolutely going to target that level? No, it could invert this level, tap down, close aggressively, could have an entire week that closes bearish, which would then show its hand that we could in future start targeting those lows. But we just need to trade what we see, guys. Monday, I'm going to let play out. Dictate what the market wants to do. We have some trend line liquidity there. We have some inversions that could play out. If market opens, inverts that, and then we could ride that momentum down, sweeping this. We could see that market tap into this level here, respecting this daily. Give a good rejection candle, like I've discussed in the daily bias video, giving us a good indication that we're going to continue to the upside to follow, which would be nice. But again, these are all probabilities. We need to see what market's going to show come Monday. If we drop onto Eurusd, see we have that monthly market isn't showing a great deal of momentum to the downside. Yes, we're pushing, but we're not creating fair value gaps. We're trickling into this area. On this, for this instance, we have actually taken the low, closed within, but that doesn't mean I'm switching my bias entirely. I would want to essentially see that draw get taken and then market start pulling upwards like that. Just showing its hand that we've had an aggressive move up, wick to the downside, wicking this low, giving me an indication that things may slow down a little bit to give us that exhaustion, that due exhaustion. We are sitting in a weekly fair value gap. We haven't tapped the CE of it just yet. And if I'm not mistaken, there is a refined daily within this area. Okay. Yeah, we could see market push and continue down. Again, like I said, we've taken the swing low. We are uncertain if this is a sweep on liquidity or a run on liquidity just yet. We need to play it by what market dictates come Monday. We have created a daily fair value gap with an overlapping BPR again. So if we see market react come Monday, pushing to the upside, give us a rejection close out of here for a day, I would then look to target this low again, making this my weekly drawn liquidity. If we invert that, we could continue to the upside. In this instance, what we see on GU, a bit more convincing if we go the weekly. Pound taking a bit of a battering lately. So next obvious draw would most likely be to the bodies and then to the actual swing in that area. We've respected that weekly fair value gap. We wicked up aggressively. Market has respected the order block. And if we use our simple weekly drawn liquidity, that would be my immediate target, lowest hanging fruit, and these lows to follow. When we see a close like this and we don't give a wick, it lets me know that we could see Monday take that low immediately. In these instances, when I'm trading my reversal pattern, what I tend to wait for is Asian range to take it, then Asian range to get taken and give a strong displacement to the upside. Then I know we could target up a little higher. If we have a look at GU, good momentum. Like I said, we had a great rejection candle, sweeping that, respecting that order block right there, giving a good indication that sells were on the cards, targeting that swing low. So even in instances where you are doubtful, the market will show its hand. It's just having to wait for that confirmation. So given that we have a confirmed swing to the high and an unconfirmed swing to the low, we can't make an assumption that market will pull back immediately. But if we get a daily swing pattern formation here, I would look to ride up, targeting this daily fair value gap with the overlapping order block. So GU looking really clean right now. I just need to see how Monday is. Again, I'll keep on reiterating how Monday is going to open. So let's have a look here. If we drop down to the 4 hour, we have this 4 hour fair value gap. We have some relative equal highs just here. So there's some of your buy side liquidity available for the taking. We've closed down aggressively. And in this instance, this is what I was saying. We do have our reversal patterns, which I'll get into detail later on. That we could see market open, Asian range, take that low, then Asian range get taken, displacement to the upside, and market targeting this buy side liquidity. If it does that, I will most likely not be trading off of that level. I would look for market to give a reaction, tapping into this daily, taking this swing level, seeing if we get a rejection candle, and then riding that momentum back down, understanding that we could target Monday's low again, just given the momentum that GU is showing to the downside. All right, traders, I hope that helps you out. Again, let's just sit on our hands come Monday, see what the market wants to do, and we could target those levels accordingly. All right, have a good one.